inshallah, there will be 3 parts. Okay. You will have reading, you will have also listening and writing. Okay. Reading, that I already taught you how to understand and answer the questions. Listening, there are specific techniques, we will go through it again, inshallah. And for writing, um, you will write a reflective writing on one idea that you will bring from listening or reading. Only one idea you will reflect about it. Is it clear? Most likely. So, we will go through writing again, but before that, let me show you what I have uploaded. New files. Okay, where are we? Yeah. You just enter your drive and then you go to English for academic purposes. Here are the courses, the materials, everything you need is here. So I also have uploaded vocabulary section from unit 3. You need to practice these because these are going to be in your final exam, not like this way, but the vocabulary. Okay. You will also have you see logistics, trade, and skyscrapers. They are also from final exams, a model of final exam. When you get inside these, you will find a full exam that has listening, reading, and writing. And here on the left side of the page, there is the listening audio. Okay, you also have the reading section. What else? Regarding the writing, there are some examples done by students. I have uploaded them. Okay, and here are the vocabulary of each unit. Nevertheless, first of all, let's start with writing, and then we can just go through each one of them. Just a quick explanation for writing, a quick review. Okay, as you can see here is the steps where you write reflective writing by or on the DIEP model. Generally reflecting your idea, the idea that you will take from reading or listening. All right, well, in this way, or these steps that you are going to follow and write a perfect reflective writing. First, you have the D, which represent describe or describing. In this part, you will describe what happened. Is it what happened? What did you listen in a lecture, or what did you read in a book or magazine or newspaper? Okay, or something you have learned in a class. Then I, interpret. You need to interpret means تفسير. What does the experience mean to you? Is there any new insights? وجهة نظر جديدة. Okay, you have made. اكتسبتها ولا تعلمتها in your new experience. Okay, then you will evaluate, which means you bring your opinion there. Evaluating what? The experience. Now I'll show you how. The last one is only applying in your future. Okay, what are you going to do with this new idea or the thing that you learn? How will you apply it in the future or in your career or anything else? But in the future, okay, are you going to develop it? Are you going to let it stay the same or just learn from it? How will you apply the idea in the future? So this is for the last part. Now, when you describe, okay, you start with using specific phrases that will help you to write. For example, the most interesting insight from my lecture this week is, this is how you begin the first part of your writing. In this part, you will describe the situation. What did you hear? What did you see, read, or okay? But as brief as possible, and you be objective as possible. You don't take sides. يعني ما تنحازوا في أي اتجاه. No, be objective, محايد. Okay? This is only describing. In the second part, okay, you will interpret. Interpret what happened. What new insight you have gained. How does the experience connect with other things you have learned or experienced before? Did you see something similar before? If yes, well, you need to write this. Explain it a little bit. Okay? How did the experience make you feel? So you connect your feelings in the second part. So the first part you will describe what happened, what you heard, what you learned. And in the second part, you will say your feelings regarding this experience. How does the experience make you feel? And you can start writing this part by using these phrases, such as the experience idea is relative to me because it reminded me of the idea that, or a possible implication could be. Okay, so here are some examples. You might memorize one of these, okay, which will help you inshallah in your writing as a beginning of the other part. يعني لما تبدأ في part ثاني you can just memorize one of these عشان تنتقلوا من الجزء الأول اللي هو describe to the other part اللي هو interpret. And remember again, your feelings are connected with the second part. Okay, now to the third part. When you evaluate, you make a judgment. How useful was the experience for you? Right? What is your opinion regarding the experience? Regarding the lesson, regarding the course, or even regarding the idea that you learned? Why do you think this might be? Okay, so you just make a judgment. Is it useful? Does it help you with something? Okay, and you could use one of these phrases when you start writing. Okay, having realized the importance of, I can now understand dash You write your judgment or your idea. Or you could use this experience will change the way I view what منظور جديد ل what exactly. Okay, as for the last part, I told you the last part is only for the future. How will you apply this in your career or in your future job, future projects? So commit on how this experience might inform your future thoughts or actions. How could you apply what you have learned from the experience in the future? How might the experience relate to your degree of or future professional life? Is it clear? So as for the phrases you could use, this is beneficial to me as my future career requires, or in order to further development this skill will be, whatever that suits you. But these phrases were really, really good for your writing. Now, if you go through this writing, you will find it as helpful as possible. Each color that represent one factor. Here are some other. Here is, wait. This is the other model that is quite clear. The other one, okay? If you go through the other one, you will find it like this. Well, the first part is where you describe. The second part is for interpreting. The third is for evaluating. And the last one is for what? For your future plans. Okay? So as you can see, 4 parts, each one represents something. This one when you describe, and this one is when you interpret. Again, here you say your feelings, state what you feel. Okay, here when you make a judgment, look, I'll read it to you. It is important to me because we live in an area of development that we must keep up with. Robots can benefit the human because, like I said before, they can do surgery and they are useful in businesses so that people's life will be easy. This is how he or she evaluated the idea. The last one is how would you apply it in the future of your life, professional life or a degree. Is there any question? I see no further questions. So now let's go to exams. Perhaps the file is too long. I can't just upload it to in here. I don't know what's wrong with it. Give me 1 second. I'll try on this. Hopefully it works. Yes, it is. Okay, good. Well, guys, here is an example of your final exam, model or mock exam. As you can see here, you have listening for the first part, and then you have the, oh, this is only listening. Wait, let me upload the other one that has all the skills. I think this is also listening. Oh, yeah. Here are, guys, look. The first part is listening. Then you have reading. These are the questions of the reading. And then you have the writing part. I'll let you know how can you answer this type of questions. Okay. But first, let's do this in order. For the first part, when you answer listening questions, okay, you start only with the time you have reading and underlining the keywords. And do not underestimate this technique. لا تستهينوا بالطريقة. It's good and effective. You start with reading the questions. For example, the first one. Use your notes to answer the following questions. So here are required your notes. Complete the following information card about the lecture. You have the topic, so you need to write the topic as fast as possible. And remember, this is the first one. The second one, you have the main points. How many points? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 points. You need to write them immediately. When the speaker speaks, you write. Then you have the second question. How does Margaret James define logistics? So we have a definition. Who will identify the definition of logistics? This one, this woman. Okay? Then, when you have the table, I know that most of the students face difficulties answering tables, but trust me, it is easy when you know how to answer it. Well, complete the following table, which summarizes 3 main types of logistics. 3 main types. Okay, you have type of logistics. Here are the types. How many? 1, 2, and 3. Here are the definition. تعريفها أو مفهومها. Okay, you only have one type written. This is the one. هذا اللي فقط موجود. And there are 2 types are missing. What you have in here. شو عندكم هنا؟ تعريف ناقصة. الحين أثناء الاستماع, when he says the type, he immediately على طول من بعدها ينتقل للتعريف. So if you understand and read and underline the keywords, then you will face no difficulties doing it. You see here, dash, here, dash of goods from dash to the dash. So when you read, you understand there's something moving, and what it is here. Here is the name, and then it moves from something to something. إذا فهمتوا المعنى مالها الحين, you will face no difficulties. You will face no difficulties doing it. Okay? And then you have the second definition. The dash of row. This, when you hear, guys, when you hear this word, the word row، الكلمة اللي بعدها ترى هي تكون الإجابة عشان تكتبوه هنا في هذا الفراغ. اوكي and يتبعوا على طول لأنه نفسه اللي موجود بين السطور هنا. all of this بيجي بالترتيب في الاستماع. يعني لا تفكر انه مثلا بيقفز. no sequence. كيف اقول لكم مترابط او متسلسل. يعني ما بيقفز لشيء وينتقل لشيء ثاني. no كله مترابط. الكلام اللي هنا موجود هو نفسه اللي بيقوله. okay as for the last one and dash okay of products after being used. see now let's move to question number 4. okay question number 4 includes 3 rows. this is the company. okay you have Aramex and you have DHL. شركتين you have. okay طيب شو هن العناصر اللي بيناقشكم فيها أو يعني المتحدث. you have established year and country. السنة اللي نشأت فيها والدولة. you have offices عدد المكاتب. how many here. countries في كم دولة موجود. employees عدد الموظفين في هذه الشركة وفي هذه الشركة. is it clear. so this is how you read tables. you start with here. You start with the first row. You understand it. okay and then you look in here as well as the same in here. you see the topics at the top of the table وبعدين تشوفوا العناصر اللي موجودة عشان تفهموا عن شو هو يتكلم. alright and here you have complete the following chart by drawing the bars that represent the revenue. We are using in billion US dollar of each of the given companies. How many companies? You have Aramex, DHL, FedEx, UPS. 4 companies. okay and represented with US dollar in billions. okay so you are required to draw bars, bars like this. Sorry. Like this. okay this is how you do the listening part as required. okay is it clear so far. now let's move to the reading. okay of course for the reading you have time limit. you don't have all day to read word by word. you only have couple of hours and few minutes. as for reading, it's also about logistics. okay you have 1 2 3 4 paragraphs, and when you read these paragraphs you don't start with a word by word. using skimming and scanning, when you just highlight the main words, the main keywords. But we usually not start with writing, because if you start with writing you will waste a lot of time. That's why we go to the questions first. You have how many questions? 4 5 okay 6. You have 6 questions. The first one, how would you do that? Choose the most appropriate main idea of the passage. So you read the questions first and then you go back to the paragraphs. The first question is asking you to choose which one of these topics is appropriate يعني مناسب للفقرة. Okay, which one in your opinion? Let's read each one of them and underline the keywords. A. Logistics in developing the economy. B. Logistics industry thought out history. C. Logistics sector in al-Docom. D. Logistics challenges and opportunities. Choose one of these, and before you choose, you have to read the questions. Then move to the paragraphs. Okay, now let's move to the second questions. Write a suitable heading for each paragraph. The first one is done for you. This is the one that is done. Then when you read the first one, early forms of logistics, then you go back to the paragraphs. Okay, this one is done, and the rest is waiting for you. Okay. And number 3, decide whether the following statements are true, false, or not given. Right. One of the students were asking me how to differentiate between these 3, and I told her you need to read the questions, identify the keywords, and understand the questions, of course. All right. Then look at the keywords. Does it match the fact of paragraphs؟ يعني هل الكلمات المفتاحية اللي حددتوها في السؤال تتوافق مع الفقرة or with the sentence؟ إذا كانت فيها شيء مخالف عكس اللي موجود عندكم إذا تكون false. إذا كانت نفس المعلومات نفس الفقرة true. لكن إذا جابوا لكم شيء هنا غير اللي موجود في الفقرة، شيء ما مذكور أبدا، it will be not given. And you will not be able to solve this puzzle until you practice it. So you have plenty of time until the final exam. 3 or 4 days, give it or take. Okay, so what are the keywords in this question? Let's look at it together. Okay, the use of steam-powered motors revolutionized the logistics sector. This is as a keyword. This is one too tiny. Okay, steam-powered, and this one, also this one. These are the keywords. If it matches, then it's correct. If it is the opposite, it is false. If there is something here that is not there, then the answer is not given. Alright, the second question. Oman's Docom refinery project is almost completed. Okay. C. Logistics helps reduce the cost of goods and services. Okay. Reduce goods and services. Is it true or false? Docom Port will have direct access to some East Asian countries. Okay. Access. These are the keywords. Will as a keyword. It might be not the same there. You should check. This one is important. Okay. The last one is the depth of dry docks is more than 10 meters. Depth. These are the keywords. Okay. Now let's move to question number 4. You have table. You have reason and result. Two reasons that resulted this statement. So when you go back to the paragraph, you see tragic location and what? Which cause this. Okay? And you have one reason that cause this one. You have here two reasons that cause two results. You will find it direct in the paragraph بشكل مباشر. Okay guys? You have also a diagram. Complete the following diagram with information about two major projects at SEZE. This one has 3 marks. Okay. And as for the last part, choose one paragraph, B, C, or D from the passage and write 30-word summary of it. We will get back to this بنرجع inshallah. But before we go there, let's just look at this one. You have the vocabulary in here, okay? It won't take long, but the technique that you use in here to solve this type of questions is only by looking at the previous word. كيف يعني؟ يعني الحين you are here number 2 خلاص 1 is done for you. Number 2, you see here you have the is a noun. هل يصير من بعدها يجي فعل؟ Of course no. هل يصير من بعدها يجي adjective؟ Of course no. Then the only thing that can be written after that is only noun فقط. The plus noun. So what you gonna do? You're gonna cancel all the adjectives and all the verbs before you choose the answer here. Okay? Now, let's look to the other one. Right, I forgot. طبعا لما تحلوا هذا النوع من الأسئلة تبدو من النقطة لين النقطة as a full sentence. تفهموها من أول شيء لآخر شيء. ما نعتمد الفواصل. No, من نقطة للنقطة. This is how you answer this type of questions. من غير أنكم تحددوا إذا كان فعل ولا اسم ولا صفة ولا حتى adverb. أوكي؟ تشوفوها من نقطة اللي هو قبل ذي الجملة لين آخر الجملة بس. Okay? So, the second sentence. In other words, what dash oil prices is the increase or what? Decrease. Okay? This one is obvious. A verb and a verb. But what about here? What do you think is there? Hmm? Yes, guys, what do you think? What is here? Is it a verb, a noun, an adjective? I'm waiting. Yes, guys. All right, then. In this case, we should just use a verb because after what becomes a verb. This is how you answer this type of questions. You read the sentence from the very beginning until the end of the sentence. Okay? After that, you look at the word before the dash. You see here? شوف الكلمة اللي قبلها. This is what identify or let you know what will be there. Is it clear? Alright, now let's go to summary. So in the summary part, I'm not sure is it going to be in your final exam because reflective writing is surely will be there. reflective بيكون هناك أكيد لكن السمري I'm not sure. However لازم نتعلم كيف نكتبه just in case. Okay, so how would you um, write a summary that is out of 30 words? Do you have any idea? I don't know who I'm talking to. There are certain things that you consider when you write a summary. beside يعني من غير إنه بس من 30 كلمة ل35. Let me just this one is empty. Okay, keep in mind these few things when you write a summary. You consider a few things. What are they? First of all, when you write a summary, it should be out of 30 to 35 words. This is number one. Number two, you don't have to add details. No details يعني ما تسوي تفاصيل. Okay. Number three, you don't have to use next, then, or first, finally. No need for all of these. And for the last part, you should make sure not to write your opinion. الحين في الملخص هذا أنت ما مطلوب منكم، أو أنتوا ما مطلوب منكم إنكم تكتبوا رأيكم في الموضوع، no. بس تلخصوا. أول فكرة أو أول نقطة ما يتعدى عن 35 كلمة ل30. ثاني شيء ما تحطوا تفاصيل. ثالث شيء لا تستخدموا next, then, first, finally, after that, no. آخر نقطة لازم تتذكروها اللي هي ممنوع رأيكم في الملخص، ما مطلوب. تقروا وتلخصوا على طول 30 كلمة، that's it. ما في أسهل من ذا. And you could just when you write make sure to follow these points. What is the paragraph about? Number 2, just short explanation. Short, okay? No details. Then you just give general information. هذه النقاط الأخيرة مهمة أثناء الكتابة، تراعوها، لكن هذه الأساسيات اللي بالأحمر. Okay. 1 minute folks, I